Previously on Reincarnated as the Grand Duke's third son, our hero was reborn into a medieval world, but the system has turned his life into a high-stakes game of survival. The enemy closes in. The realm teeters on the brink of war. The Grand Duke's heir just signed his own death warrant with a scathing insult, and now his fate is sealed. His hands are shaking, and his eyes are blazing with a mix of anger and desperation. He paces back and forth in his chambers, unable to contain his emotions. The weight of his words hangs in the air like a guillotine, waiting to drop at any moment. His trusted advisors try to calm him down, but even they can't hide their concern. They know the Grand Duke's reputation is on the line.
Stop this, you're going to ruin everything.
That's exactly what he's going to do. Ruin everything, including his own life. The situation gets even more dire as Lucian's death seems like a natural consequence of his previous actions. However, right now, Lucian is on the verge of falling off a cliff himself, and he can't afford to be considerate of feelings. He definitely said last. The cost of Lucian's choices is about to be revealed, and it's not going to be pretty. He's on the edge, and one misstep could be fatal. What will happen next? The suspense is killing me, guys. The Grand Duke's mother stands before Lucian, her eyes blazing with a mix of anger and sadness. She demands to know why he's compromising his duties as the third son. Lucian looks back, his expression a mix of defiance and desperation. He's not backing down, but he can sense the weight of the Grand Duke's mother's words. She sees something in him that no one else does, a young master who's been cowering, always trying to fit in.
Is that really young Master Lucian?
His jaw clenches, and for a split second, his eyes flash with a hint of the anger he's been holding inside. Lucian swallows hard, his throat working to push back the emotion. He feels betrayed, not just by the Grand Duke's mother, but by everyone around him. Okay, we're back at it, folks.
Stop. You're wrong.
Lucian's jaw drops as he considers the amount, realizing it's worth a shot. He's got a mixture of emotions, surprise, concern, and a hint of desperation. He's thinking about his life, which is at risk due to self-harm and a protest. The Grand Duke's duty and reputation are on the line. The key action or twist of this chapter: Lucian's brutal truth about his father's expectations crushes Cale's idealized vision of their relationship, forcing him to confront the harsh realities of their family dynamics head-on today. The emotional stakes, what a character gained or lost. Cale's heart shatters as he loses the innocence of his childhood, while Lucian gains a newfound respect for his son's determination to grow into his responsibilities despite their tumultuous past. The cliffhanger, what is left dangerously unresolved going forward. As evening falls, Cale seizes the opportunity to sneak away and secretly trains with the sword, but his father's sinister intentions lurk in the shadows, waiting to strike at his son's newfound ambitions. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. Master Dorian remains unyielding, his eyes glinting with an air of superiority. Young Master Lucian faces off against him, his jaw clenched in defiance. What's at risk is young Master Lucian's very existence within the Grand Duke's household. The ground beneath him shudders, and the air grows thick with anticipation. The question is, will he find a way to reclaim Master Dorian's trust? Young Master Lucian has a plan in motion. He wants those moonlight herbs, but they cost an arm and a leg, and they only grow under the light of the moon. Every merchant in the market can smell the desperation when it comes to this rare ingredient. Hans enters the scene, and he's not here to play games. His expression is as cold as the moonlight itself. He advises young Master Lucian to buy up the moonlight herbs, but the young master is already ahead of the game. His eyes light up with conviction, and he's not backing down. What's at stake is his entire operation.
Buy them all.
Over time's the normal price, the moonlight herbs are a gamble that could either make or break young Master Lucian. Hans is dead serious. This is a moment of truth for the young master. His jaw sets in determination, and he's already made his decision. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife.
The fate of the kingdom hangs precariously in the balance as Kento, now aware of his divine bloodline, grapples with the weight of his heritage and the consequences of his actions. As Kento's eyes are open to the truth of his birthright, he gains a sense of purpose, but also loses the innocence of his former life, forever changing the trajectory of his journey. With the dark forces closing in and the royal court torn asunder by suspicion and intrigue, Kento's very existence becomes a ticking time bomb, threatening to unleash chaos upon the fragile kingdom.
Don't miss what happens next. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari right now. Lucian is now standing outside the training hall, hesitating to enter. His concern is clear. What if he runs into his second brother again? He recalls the verbal sparring match they had during their training and is tempted to avoid confronting him. I did? Jala nak jiza. Those words now echo in his mind, a constant reminder of his fears. His resolve falters, and he's on the cusp of turning back. Young Master Lucian's eyes scan the empty training hall, his anxiety simmering. His hands betray his unease. He checks the exit twice. He recalls the verbal sparring match he had with his second brother during their training. Every moment comes flooding back. Young Master Lucian's eyes scan the empty training hall, his anxiety simmering. His hands betray his unease. He checks the exit twice. He recalls the verbal sparring match he had with his second brother during their training. Every moment comes flooding back. He trusted that man for 3 years, every single moment a lie.
Stop. You're wrong.
Young Master Lucian hesitates to enter the training hall. What if he runs into his second brother again? The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife.
Lucian's innate constitution makes it possible for him to transcend his current limitations, as the door to a new era of power and growth slowly begins to open before him. The emotional stakes are at an all-time high, as Jake's existence as a guard for the Valdic family is put to the test. His loyalty and duty hanging precariously in the balance, threatening to shatter under the weight of his new reality. As the truth about Jake's mysterious past continues to unravel, a dark and sinister force begins to stir, leaving the Valdic family and everyone around them perilously vulnerable to a catastrophic reckoning.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. Lucian's objective has already been achieved, to prove his worth as the Grand Duke's third son. Despite his arrogance and lack of military training, Lucian moves before his opponent can react, his sword clashing with the retainers in a flurry of strikes. Lucian crushes the retainer, unable to utter a rebuttal. He's too focused on silencing any criticism. The worm who can't move, Lucian is the true embodiment of ignorance. A fool crushed by his own ignorance, unable to utter a single rebuttal. Hendrik, a seasoned veteran, approaches Lucian, his expression a mixture of amusement and concern. For some reason, Hendrik says, "Sir Hendrik." Lucian's smile falters, and he's unsure of how to respond. The path of a warrior is not an easy one, and Lucian is still in his teenage years. Hendrik's words hit a nerve, but Lucian is too proud to admit it. Fa Hui. What no? Alright guys, let's get into this. We're at beat. Lucian's objective remains the same, to prove his worth as the Grand Duke's third son. Lucian's standing within the family is low, and his arrogant attitude only fuels the fire.
This series is finished. The Grand Duke's reputation is at stake, and Lucian's actions threaten to ruin it.
It seems we have Lucian Valdec again, a third young master with a bad attitude. He's been warned before, but still he insists on pushing the boundaries. The Grand Duke is not amused, and the stakes are higher than ever. I've got a message for you, Lucian. A new player enters the scene, one with a hidden agenda and a score to settle.
He finally receives the title of knight from his liege, but it comes at a great cost as his secret is revealed, shattering his relationships with his loved ones. Tears of sorrow and regret pour down his face as he's torn away from the ones he holds dear, his once strong bond now forever broken like fragile glass. As the Grand Duke's third son stands at the threshold of his new title, a dark and ominous shadow looms over him, threatening to destroy everything he's worked so hard to achieve.
If you're enjoying this, subscribe to Manwa with Hari. New chapters drop every week. The second young master is furious. His dignity is on the line, and Lord Geordie's words are a slap in the face. He wants to retort to show that he's not some foolish kid. But what blocks him is the Grand Duke's steady gaze. It's like a cold, hard wall that refuses to budge. The second young master takes a step forward, his body language screaming defiance. He's about to speak, but what he says next will either save him or condemn him.
You foolish fellow. Pardon? What do you mean by that all of a sudden?
The second young master bites back. He's been watching the exchange between Lord Geordie and Sir Hendrik, and he knows exactly what happened. He wants to expose Lord Geordie's mistake, to show that he's not some powerless kid. But what blocks him is the Grand Duke's patience. It's wearing thin, and the second young master can feel the tension building.
As for what words were exchanged between you and Sir Hendrik, I was watching everything.
The second young master's frustration turns to despair as he realizes that he's trapped in a cycle of anger and regret. Lord Geordie's gaze never wavers, his voice cold and calculating. The young master's face twists in a snarl. He wants to lash out, to shatter the calm facade Lord Geordie wears. But what blocks him is the weight of his own doubt. The young master's eyes drop, his shoulders sagging under the burden of his own weakness.
Stop. You're going to regret this. The young master's voice is barely audible.
Lord Geordie's eyes narrow, his expression unyielding. The young master's heart sinks. He's running out of options. His hands move involuntarily, reaching for something to hold on to. But what do they want? The young master's thoughts are a jumble of fear and despair. Young master.
Lena stands frozen, her eyes locked with Jinwa's as he's about to be dragged away by the mustachioed knight, her fate hanging precariously in the balance. Lena's trust in Jinwoo is shattered as his deception is exposed, leaving her reeling from the painful revelation that her ally might be hiding a dark, secrets-filled past from her. The fate of Jinwoo's future hangs precariously in the balance as the mustachioed knight's grip tightens around him. Lena's desperate cry echoing through the empty streets, her voice fading into the darkness.
Don't miss what happens next. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Reincarnated as the Grand Duke's third son. I'm your master narrator, and we're about to dive into a wild ride. My friends, get ready for epic drama, scheming, and some serious grown-up business.
Blaze wants to know the truth about the funds. The Grand Duke's third son is at the center of the controversy. Blaze is determined to get to the bottom of it. However, he's not getting any straight answers. The head maid, Jenny, is trying to downplay the situation.
Since you all suffered due to my negligence, one could consider it compensation.
Blaze is not buying it. He thinks this is a clear case of corruption. He demands to know why Hansa's salary was cut instead of raised. Blaze is getting agitated. He points out that everyone can testify to his overwork. The head maid tries to intervene, but Blaze is on a roll.
Hans just shrugs and orders a drink, not even looking up at Blaze. The frustration is building, and Blaze is about to lose his temper. But something stops him, a cold calculation that tells him to wait and see what Hans's plan is. Blaze's eyes narrow as he watches the scene unfold. The room is tense, and the air is thick with anticipation.
Hey, you son of a coward. Move it. Oracle, I bet my entire salary on you today.
The man's words hit Blaze like a punch to the gut. Blaze's anger is white-hot now, and he's itching for a fight. But Hans just laughs it off and orders another drink.
The key action or twist of this chapter unfolds as Elric takes on a new role, his relationship with Jenny growing increasingly complex, as they navigate their feelings amidst their high-stakes lives. Elric's world is turned upside down as he struggles to reconcile his blossoming feelings for Jenny with the expectations of his new position, his heart aching with every passing moment of uncertainty. The Grand Duchy teeters on the brink of disaster as Elric's past mistakes come back to haunt him, his loyalty to his family and his own sense of justice hanging precariously in the balance, leaving Jenny's fate uncertain.
If you're enjoying this, subscribe to Manwa with Hari. New chapters drop every week. Jordies wants to confront the head maid, Jenny, due to her unique background. He's cautious, though, because of her past connection to him. Jordies decides to leave, thinking it's best to avoid a confrontation. His body language screams unease. He won't stop fidgeting.
No, thank you. I think it's best if I go now. When did the young master gain missions?
Jordies leaves quickly, not wanting to face Jenny. But will he be able to escape his past? Can he avoid the truth hidden behind Jenny's actions? Jordies is already out the door, but what will he find waiting for him outside? Jordies wants to take on Enam to push him to his limits. He wants to see what the other man's made of, and he's willing to risk everything to find out. The game is on, and the stakes are higher than ever. A simple card game? How about I make it interesting? I'll make the rules. And that's exactly what Enam is. A man who's going to make the rules, and Jordies is going to have to play along. The game is about to get a lot more interesting. Jordies is face to face with Jenny, the head maid, and he's nervous. His hands won't stop moving. He checks the exit twice. Jordies is now standing face to face with Jenny, trying to appear confident. But Jenny's expression is cold and unforgiving. She's not buying Jordies' act, and she's about to call him out. Jordies knows that if he loses his composure, he'll be in trouble.
I'll devour you down to the bone, you carefree little wretch.
Jordies' smile falters, and for a moment, he looks like he's about to lose control. But then he regains his composure and decides to push back. He stands his ground, trying to appear braver than he feels. Jordies is trying to defuse the situation, but Jenny's not having it. She's ready to pounce, and Jordies knows he needs to tread carefully.
The head maid stands firm, her determination a sharp counterpoint to the young lord's escalating frustration as the lines of authority begin to blur. Emotional stakes escalate as our protagonist's grip on reality falters, threatening to unravel the progress made in his tumultuous adjustment to his new life as the Grand Duke's third son. Tension simmers as the dark undercurrents of the Empire's impending division threaten to engulf our hero, leaving him with a precarious alliance that's on the brink of catastrophic collapse.
If you're enjoying this, subscribe to Manwa with Hari. New chapters drop every week. The young lord has got Hugo right where he wants him. Hugo's position is precarious, but he needs to save his life somehow. He must think fast and talk his way out of this one. His hands are sweating, and his mind is racing. He's a desperate man. I'd rather beg for death. The young lord raises an eyebrow. He's amused by Hugo's audacity. But Hugo's not finished yet. He's got a plan, and he's gonna put it into action. He takes a step forward, his eyes locked on the young lord's. I believe there's a reason you came to find me personally. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife. The tension in the air was thick enough to cut with a knife.
The kingdom teeters on chaos as a false rumor spreads, threatening to topple the Grand Duke's fragile reign, leaving him seething with rage and desperation for the truth. With his newfound identity, the third son grapples with the moral weight of his past actions, struggling to reconcile his dual lives and the loved ones lost to him, forever changed by his experiences. As the Grand Duke's grip on power begins to slip, the third son finds himself torn between loyalty and the truth, caught in a web of deceit, with his very existence hanging precariously in the balance. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update. Lucian is on a mission: drill those wretch who don't know their place.
His hands move quickly, efficiently. The whirring of the drill fills the air. However, it might get a little rough. He certainly is quick-witted.
Lucian is moving against the staff, and they're desperate to avoid trouble. His hands are quick, efficient. The whirring of the drill fills the air. He's gonna drill those wretches who don't know their place. I have more than enough, right?
He lunges forward, desperation etched on his face. As the cruel blade hangs poised above his friend's trembling neck, the fate of their fate hanging precariously in the balance. His heart aches with a mix of grief and guilt as he stands frozen, unable to act. His friend's life slipping away from him like grains of sand in an hourglass, his helplessness crushing him. With every tick of the clock, the weight of his failure settles heavier, his friend's fading voice echoing in his mind like a haunting echo, a dire reckoning waiting to consume them both.
If you're enjoying this, subscribe to Manwa with Hari. New chapters drop every week. The Grand Duke's grip on reality slips further. He knows Lord Geordie will be furious if he finds out. The Grand Duke's eyes narrow, sizing up the situation. His hand tightens around the hilt of his sword.
I already gave you a chance, but you're the one who made things turn out this way.
But what if the Grand Duke decides to do it his way, no matter the cost? The Grand Duke's determination grows. He wants revenge, and nothing will stand in his way. But something's off, and the Grand Duke needs an explanation.
Stats maxed. New skill unlocked.
The Grand Duke's eyes scan the room, searching for any sign of weakness. He spots the servants and knows he should have taken precautions.
Servants at separate estate received no orders.
But now it's too late, the die has been cast. The Grand Duke summons his guards and has them posted at the separate estate where Lucian resides. He thinks he's prepared for any eventuality.
Guards at ready.
But what if Lucian has other plans in store, and the Grand Duke's guards are not enough to stop him? Here's the story of Reincarnated as the Grand Duke's third son in 5 beats, according to the analysis and voice matching rules.
Lord Geordie arrives at the meeting, his expression unreadable. Young Master is by his side, and the Grand Duke's mother is nowhere to be seen. Lord Geordie's potential reaction is a concern for the Grand Duke. He's already made up his mind to take action.
How dare you order my young master to do this?
Lord Geordie's words are laced with anger. The Grand Duke knows he's walking a thin line. The Grand Duke's men are watching, waiting for their signal. Young Master looks scared, but Lord Geordie's expression is icy cold. He's not going to back down, the Grand Duke can see it in his eyes.
Our protagonist's dark secret is revealed as he's forced to confront his true parentage, shattering the illusions he's built, and exposing the lies that have defined his life. The weight of his mother's betrayal crushes him, stripping away the last vestiges of security he's held onto, leaving him wounded and raw, his sense of identity hanging by a thread. The consequences of his mother's actions are now a ticking time bomb, threatening to destroy everything our protagonist holds dear, as Lord Geordie's wrath hangs precariously in the balance.
Don't miss what happens next. Subscribe to Manwa with Hari right now. Jordival Deck's order: kill Jenny, the only person he swore to protect at all costs. It's not a question, it's a command. His eyes are blazing, and the grip on his sword is like a vice. The tension in the air is palpable, and everyone can feel the weight of his fury. He's not just a lord, He's a force of nature. The fate of Jenny hangs in the balance, and he's the only one who can save her. Stop, you're wrong. Jordival Deck moves before anyone else can breathe, his blade flashing in the dim light. He's already moving towards Lucian, his teeth clenched in a snarl. Lucian's history of theft and deceit suggests that he'll stop at nothing to get what he wants. Jordival Deck needs to be prepared for the worst-case scenario and have a solid plan in place to protect Jenny. Those who lay hands on others' property have generally received similar punishments. I know exactly what he wants. He wants me to rise up, to take advantage of the opportunity before it's too late. The game is afoot, and I'm not going to pass up the chance to seize power. But my brother doesn't know what he's playing with. He thinks it's just a game, a simple battle for succession. But this is war, and I'm not going to let him unleash it on our family. I advance, my anger boiling over.
A pivotal confrontation unfolds as Lucian's annex sparks a fiery response from the nobles, the air thick with suspicion and resentment towards the Grand Duke's third son. The weight of his actions now crushes Lucian's shoulders as he grapples with the devastating consequences of his words, a harsh reality that threatens to shatter his fragile grip on power and prestige. As the nobles' murmurs grow louder, whispers of rebellion weaving through the air, Lucian's fate hangs precariously in the balance, his uncertain future overshadowed by the ominous specter of chaos and violence.
Subscribe to Manwa with Hari and join thousands of fans who never miss an update.